Welcome to your DH-98 Mosquito FB Mark 6 startup training mission. We will run through both physical and visual checks with the assistance of Archie, your navigator/observer. He will run through the startup checklist with you. So let's get started. Do not try to rush ahead during this training mission, as it may result in you missing an important step or piece of information that may prevent you from completing the mission successfully.
Check parking brake is on.
The default position for the parking brake is set to on. Now test the parking brake switch by using the keyboard combination of left Alt and T.
Set electrical services switch to on.
Move your mouse over the electrical services switch and depress your right mouse button to switch the power on.
Voltmeter should show 24 volts if battery is fully charged.
Visually check the voltmeter to your right and that it reads 24 volts.
Check bomb bay doors are closed.
Depress your right mouse button now to open the bomb bay light switch cover. If the light beneath is not illuminated, the doors are closed. Now depress your left mouse button to close the cover.
Bomb control panel, all switches off, guard closed.
Open the Perspex cover by moving your mouse pointer over the highlighted switch and depressing your left-hand mouse button. Now check the switches beneath are in the up, off position. Now close the Perspex cover by moving your mouse pointer over the highlighted switch again.
Undercarriage, emergency knob in normal position, safety catch engaged.
Beneath your right armrest and slightly rearward is the emergency undercarriage switch. Visually check that it is in the default up position. Check that the safety catch above the landing gear handle is in the default up position. It prevents the inadvertent raising or lowering of the landing gear.
Air pressure, normal pneumatic pressure, 200 pounds per square inch.
Visually check that the pressure gauge reads 200 pounds per square inch.
Main fuel cocks set to outer tanks.
Move your mouse pointer to the highlighted starboard fuel cock and depress your left-hand mouse button to select the outer tank. Now repeat the process for the port fuel cock and depress your right-hand mouse button this time to select the outer tank.
Throttles, open half an inch.
Advance both throttles to half an inch of travel.
RPM control levers set to maximum RPM.
Make sure that the RPM levers are set to fully forward.
Superchargers set to mod, low gear.
Carry out a visual check of the supercharger switch to your left. It should be in the down position if it is correctly set to mod, low gear.
Check radiator shutters are closed.
Visually check the radiator switches are set to the default up position for off.
Pressure venting cock set to on.
Set the pressure venting cock to on by raising it using the right mouse button.
Fuel transfer cock set to off.
Visually check that the lever is in its default off vertical position.
Check immersed fuel pump switch is off.
Again, visually check that the switch is in its default off position.
Contact ground crew for engine priming.
Making contact with the ground crew is a two-stage process. First, we need to open the port or left-hand window. Move the mouse pointer over the highlighted handle. Having opened the port left-hand window, you now need to contact the ground crew using the right Alt and hash or right Alt and backslash. Keys to access your comms menu. Instruct your ground crew to start priming engines by selecting option 8 followed by option 6.
Port magnetos both on. Copy.
Highlight and depress your right mouse button for each mag switch, starting with the left hand switch first.
Port starter and booster coil covers open.
Depress your right mouse button to open the starter cover and repeat for the booster cover.
Port start button, depress and hold. Turning periods must not exceed 20 seconds with 30-second intervals.
Depress your left mouse button and hold down the starter switch and keep it depressed. Now depress your right mouse button to engage the booster coil and then release both the left and right mouse buttons together when the engine catches.
Thus, the oil pressure becomes steady, open the throttle slowly, and warm up at 1200 RPM. Starboard magnetos both on.
Highlight and depress your right mouse button for each mag switch, starting with the left-hand switch first.
Starboard starter and booster coil covers open.
Depress your right mouse button to open the
Starboard start button, depress and hold. Tuning period must not exceed 20 seconds with 30-second intervals.
Depress your left mouse button and hold down the starter switch and keep it depressed. Now depress your right mouse button to engage the booster coil, and then release both the left and right mouse buttons together when the engine catches.
Radiator shutters set to open.
Depress your left mouse button for each radiator switch to open your radiator flaps, starting with the left-hand switch first. You are now certified for startup of your Mosquito aircraft and can proceed to the taxi/takeoff training mission. Good luck.
Fucking legend.
aDogdoor says legend.
Welcome to your Mosquito taxi and takeoff training mission. As per your previous startup training mission, Archie is on hand to run through the checklist with you. So let's get started.
Brake pressure, 200 pounds per square inch. If the pressure is low, ensure that the pump is definitely building up pressure. If not, the aircraft should not be flown.
Carry out a visual check of the pressure gauge and that it reads 200 pounds per square inch.
Wheel chocks. Request removal by ground crew.
Making contact with the ground crew is a two-stage process. First, we need to open the port or left-hand window. Move the mouse pointer over the highlighted handle and depress the left mouse button.
From the starter. Unable to comply.
Remove the wheel chuck.
To start your first turn to the left, depress your left rudder pedal, and whilst doing so, depress and release your wheel brakes once. Your aircraft should start to turn. Keep applying left rudder, throttle and brake inputs until you are heading in your desired direction. Now straighten up your aircraft by using the right rudder, and whilst doing so, depressing your wheel brakes W key once. Repeat both left and right turns as necessary to keep your aircraft moving in a straight line. You may also adjust throttle inputs as required. You are approaching the right turn to enter the runway. It may help if you first swing left and then make a full turn to the right using the rudder, wheel brakes and throttle as previously described.
away from the shop.
As soon as you are travelling in a straight line down the road, in excess of 34 miles per hour, allow the control column to move forward slightly, approximately half an inch. As soon as the tail lifts, the air
wheel chocks. Request removal by ground crew.
Making contact with the ground crew is a two-stage process. First, we need to open the port or left-hand window. Move the mouse pointer over the highlighted handle and depress the left mouse button.
From the starter. Unable to comply.
Mossie so often. So gently up on the left throttle. Is that RPM around to 3000. I'm not going to go any faster than that because it's going to risk blowing the engine or overheating the engine. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my left engine just a little bit before my right engine, because that's going to prevent a little bit of that swinging that we get in the Mossie so often. So gently up on the left throttle, followed by the right, little tap of the brakes and rudder to the left, and then we're going to roll. Engines are now matched. There's 3000 RPM. I'm just watching.
As soon as you are travelling in a straight line down the runway in excess of 34 miles per hour, allow the control column to move forward slightly, approximately half an inch. As soon as the tail lifts, the air
don't think I should use it considering I'm on my period, so. Happy New Year.